You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, and it's draft time. Let's see what we got here. We're doing a little cube in here while we wait for Born of the Gods to come out on Magic Online. And we picked up a really nice opening pack here. Two awesome blue cards to kick things off with. Some pretty decent red stuff here too. Hell's Thunder. Oh, I guess these aren't really the top tier type red cards, but a couple of Planeswalkers as well. A ramp spell, another rampish spell, and some black removal. I think I'm just going to take a Snapcaster Mage here. It fits the type of deck, or one of the type of decks that I really like to play in Cube. And I like Vendilion Click a ton as well, but I think Snapcaster Mage is just more value, and I do enjoy the value, as you know. All right. If I want to stay on the same path, I can take Kira, Great Glass Spinner, maybe even a Shardless Agent. This pack is a lot worse. There's not as much going on here. There's sort of some dirtily green stuff. There's a Bayou and a Murmuring Bosk. Not even really anything good for any particular deck. So I guess I'll just take Kira here. And just kind of see where we go. No matter what I take from that pack, I don't think it's going to really make a big difference as far as our deck. So I might as well take something that's reasonably on color and could definitely make the cut. I mean, Kira's good. All right, what do we have? Well, there's Ral Zarek. I like that card quite a bit. Dimir Charm's interesting. Pact of Negation, not as good. I like Obsidian, but maybe not. Hero's Downfall, I love. I think that card's just really good. Even in Cube, even at 3 mana, it's still pretty darn nice. I even like Ravenous Baboons and Siobhan Reef there as well. I feel like the best pick is probably a Hero's Downfall, but I kind of want to take a Ral Zarek because I haven't really had a chance to play with him yet. So I'm just going to take him and see where we go. Baneslayer Angel, jeez. That's a good one. I like Shriekmaw or Nightveil Spectre out of this pack. I mean, if we take Spectre, it's a little awkward because right now it's only blue for us. And we could move into black, but if I wanted to take a black card, I'd take the Shriekmaw, which I'm going to select here. I think I'm going to just end up taking it anyway. We can probably splash Ral Zarek. There's a Sulfur Falls that might come back. Well, let's dip back over into red a little bit. I think Electrolyze is probably the best card in this pack, too. At least it's up there. I mean, there's some really powerful stuff in here. Wheel of Fortune can be backbreaking in the right type of deck. Brainstorm, you need some shuffle effects to make it good, but if you have them, it's pretty good. Mirror Crusader, quite good in the white deck, as is Silverblade Paladin and Thalia. Silverblade Paladin particularly is pretty underrated in that deck. We're probably going to be glad we have that Electrolyze to kill something. Interesting pickups here. There's a Temple of Deceit, which we could use kind of depending on what direction we go to either splash a Shriekmaw or if we end up splashing red to just pay for stuff in black. There's also just straight up Avalanche Riders, which I kind of like. Zealous Conscripts can win the game depending on what you're doing, and Tidings is a slow but ultimately very effective card. Draw 4 is kind of insane for 5 mana. Our deck looks a little bit more streamlined than a Tidings deck, though. So the question becomes, do we want Avalanche Riders or Zealous Conscripts, or do we want Ultimate Price or Temple of Deceit? I don't know. I guess I'll take the Temple here. It has the least impact, but it's also the easiest. Well, hello. It's Moloku. It's our old friend Moloku. Pretty late to the party, Moloku, but hey, you're still invited. Delver of Secrets is interesting. We have an Electrolyze, and that's it, so never mind. Not that interesting. Mog War Marshal? Ugh, that doesn't have like a very big impact on the game. None of these cards really do, unfortunately. I really love me a Delver. Well, let's just take the Delver here. If we can make it work, we can. If we can't, it's fine too. In honor of Delver of Secrets, I guess I'll take a Disfigure here. Though, Gathan Raiders? I don't really want to take a Gathan Raiders. Explore, love it, but I don't think we're going to be in green. And we kind of get nothing here. I'll take this Chaos Warp in case we end up base blue-red, which is possible. There it is. There's that Sheevan Reef, so that's nice. And I'll take the Night Veil Spectre this time around. I don't know if it's going to make the cut, but we'll keep an eye on it. And, well, both of these came back, and they're both incredibly annoying. I suppose for us, the Crusader's a little more annoying. I feel like the Silverblade Paladin's a better card, but if we do end up in a reasonable amount of black, Disfigure and Shriekmaw don't hit that card. And they do hit the Paladin. So I think we can feel okay about cutting it here. All right, well, I'm not going to pass Tidings. I mean, I don't know if it's going to make the cut, but geez, I'm not going to pass it. All right, so we got a reasonable little deck lined up here. Probably not the Chaos Warp, or maybe the Tidings or something like that. But we'll see what this next pack gives us. Delver might not make it. I guess if we play Delver, we might as well play Tidings, right? Isn't that how that works? Maybe not. All right. Some big stuff here. Let's see what we've got. Well, there's Nicol Bolas Planeswalker, which does fit our color scheme, and we could just be that deck. I haven't really considered it, but we totally could. There's also Reanimate and Animate Dead in this pack. Of the two, I think Animate Dead's probably better. The whole loss of life thing is pretty brutal. I mean, it does come to the point at some point where you just can't even cast it sometimes. And the difference between 1 mana and 2 mana on Reanimate spells is pretty minimal. There's also Worn Power Stone. I think I'm going to try to wheel Nicol Bolas. If it doesn't come back, that's fine. It's not that big of a loss. I don't even know if we're going to play it for sure. But I'm going to take Animate Dead here. I don't think that we're going to end up being a straight up reanimation deck, but it's a value spell. I mean, you just kill their guy and get it back, and that's pretty good. Speaking of that, there's a counterspell and a Hymn to Turok here. I'm just going to take the counterspell. I like good old counterspell quite a bit, and I want to be base blue, and I kind of want to play Delver Secrets, to be honest, although if that's the case, I probably should have taken Reanimate over Animate Dead. But still, here we are. I like Sakashima's Student. I've talked about it before, and I really think it's good. I think it's a little bit overlooked. I mean, I don't think it's amazing, but I do think it's quite strong. I like it better than Serendibifreet, and I like it better than Dungeon Geist. Tons of white cards in this pack, and not really much else. There's a Blood Gift Demon, which I also think is a little underrated, but I'm going to take the Student here. I just think that card's sweet, and man, you can just value out on people. Like, you can attack with Snapcaster Mage, Ninjutsu and Student, copy blah blah blah, whatever, like maybe your Night Veil Spectre or something, and then you get to recast Snapcaster Mage and then flashback or whatever. You can kind of go off with Sakashima's Student. Hard cast Shriekmaw, kill your creature, attack with it, you can't block. Sakashima's Student it in, copy whatever, get Shriekmaw back to your hand, evoke it, recast it, whatever it happens to be. I mean, you can do some dumb stuff. Now, this pack's a little awkward for us. There's a Dissipate, which is, I'm going to take it, but it doesn't really work well with our Animate Dead, unfortunately. The other pick we could make is Lifebane Zombie, but I really want to try to push hard towards blue, and a double black spell is pretty rough. So I'm just going to take Dissipate here. I actually kind of want to run this Night Veil Spectre if we can. I haven't had a chance, I don't think, to run it in cube yet, and I'm pretty curious. It looks like we're just going to be splashing the red here. And we're going to be base blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of red. Ooh. How I love thee, Frost Titan. Get in there. Great curve topper. Great reanimation target as well. If somebody makes us discard a card, we can pitch Frost Titan and get it back with Animate Dead. Really great card. This is an interesting choice between Wasteland and Legacy's Allure. Legacy's Allure, an enchantment, doesn't work with Snapcaster Mage or Delver of Secrets. Either does Wasteland. But it's pretty powerful against small creature decks, and if you can just slam it on turn 2, you can kind of get them. That said, I think I'm just going to take the Wasteland because there's some really annoying lands floating around out there, and I want to have an answer to them. Bone Shredder or Aetherling? Aetherling would be another fine finisher for the deck, but Bone Shredder is really good. Bone Shredder can keep you alive. I'm going to take the Bone Shredder. I don't love taking a black card here, and I kind of like Aetherling a lot, but I don't know if I want another 6-drop. I want to kind of value out on people. Well, here's a 6-drop I like, and there's also a Pentad Prism. I really don't think we're going to be a Pentad Prism type deck. I'm going to take Kega here. Kega's pretty good against basically any of the... I mean, just really good in general. 5/5 flying for 6 is pretty nice, but you know, it's really nice against the creature decks because you can just leave it back to block if you need to, and they just don't really have a way to work around it. I mean, if they have some type of spell that exiles it, so be it, but beyond that, it's like, it's so hard for them to work around Kega the Tide Star. So that can be really good. It might not make the main deck, but it also might. All right. Fine. We will play Nicol Bolas, probably. I'll take this Condescend down here. Nicol Bolas might not make the cut. I'm already pretty nervous about having a couple of 6-drops, but the deck is sort of in-betweener. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit more on this end of the spectrum, but it's actually just sort of like a defensive value deck that is eventually going to probably be able to cast these big spells. So I think I have to sort of concede the point that we're probably playing Nicol Bolas at this point, and we're probably a control deck. Dungeon Geist or Serendibifreet, I'm going to slam Geist here. If we're going to be slowing things down, I'm pretty worried. Putrid Imp, do you do anything we really want? I mean, you sort of set up our Animate Dead, but it's really not, like, amazing. I'm going to cut Red Elemental Blast. I don't think either of these are going to make the cut anyway for us. None of these really matter. I'll just take a land just in case. Wasteland gets a lot worse with Nicol Bolas in the deck. Wasteland just gets a lot worse with any of these big drops, but you know, we can also board it in. Sometimes they have something really annoying and you need to have an answer for it as opposed to just main decking it and looking just to mana screw somebody. We're not going to use that, so I love these type of decks. Hopefully we get more of the same here in our last pack. I like keeping red to a minimum here. Ralzeric also is a pretty nice ramp spell, by the way. I think Ralzeric's just really good. I don't know how great he is in the cube, but I just think in general it's a really good Magic card. Ooh. Wow. This pack is nicely stacked up for us. There's a Consecrated Sphinx, a Creeping Tarpit, a Mana Leak, Essence Scatter, I don't like Tendrils, Diabolic Servitude's good, and then Headhunter, blah, blah, blah. Urborg's pretty decent too. I think I just need to take Consecrated Sphinx here. I think it's the most powerful card in the pack. If I didn't take that, I mean, Black Sun Zenith, Essence Scatter, Mana Leak would make the cut for the deck, and then Tarpit's probably one of the best lands we can get. But I think I just need to go with raw power, and I think I can hide Kega and take Consecrated Sphinx. Sphinx is nasty. Kind of a devastator. Oh, I saw the miscalculation. I was pretty happy, but I really, really like Control Magic, and I'm just going to slam it here. Miscalculation's good. It's versatile, and it usually will counter something. But the beautiful part about Control Magic is that, like, the turn they resolve their big thing, you're top decking, you draw Control Magic, you steal it, and you're super happy. If you play a card like Miscalculation, they either play around it, they just happen to have the mana, or they just resolve their spell, and then you draw Miscalc, and you're kind of bummed. Sure, you get to cycle it, which is sweet, but I mean, I'd much rather just have this in my deck than otherwise. All right, Old Man of the Sea, Rager, or Image. There's also Polluted Delta, and we do need some amount of fixing here, but I'm not going to pass a Phantasmal Image. I just think it's too good. It's like a cheap creature that gets you so much value in the cube. Every creature in the cube has an enters the battlefield effect. Like, everything does. Oh, by the way, get out of here. Yeah, and so you just want cards like that to be able to get through. to be able to cast for cheap and get huge value off of. I'm going to take Serum Visions here. The old modern staple Serum Visions. It's kind of a junker, but you do, like, our deck's going to be clunky. Our mana's not going to be great. And as much as I liked Forked Bolt, I don't think that we're going to have red that early. Spell Pierce is just okay. So I'm going to take Serum Visions and try to use it to help smooth out our draws and make sure that we continue to hit our land drops. Our big game is big. We need to make sure that we're still alive to hit those cards. I'm going to take Spell Sky here. That's actually a pretty easy pickup, I think. I mean, not only is there really nothing else for us, but it's also just the best card in the pack for us. Spell Sky does some pretty serious work in a deck like this. We're heavy blue, and it really just can put a huge stop to the early rush. Augur of Bolas seems fine. Instant or sorcery, I mean, we can hit Counterspell, Serum Visions, Disfigure, Dissipate, Electrolyze. That's pretty good right there. Unfortunately, can't hit Control Magic. Tidings. Yeah, we have a few things that we can hit. We're probably not a favorite to hit. So we can kind of decide when we get there if we want to include Augur of Bolas in the discussion or not. I'm definitely taking Sunken Ruins here. I like Repeal. I like Lodestone Golem. I even like Willbender, but none of it matters. We need mana fixing. I really like Sunken Ruins as well because we can use it to help out with potentially with Night Veil Specters or, you know, getting out these double blue manas, these double blue things that we have quite a few of. I don't know if Kira's going to make the cut. We still have some cuts just from this point. I'll take Cascade Bluffs. That seems like a fine mana fixer for the deck. I like Gatekeeper. I don't love Impulse, but I like it. But Gatekeeper's not going to happen here. We're just not going to get that much black mana very often. So, wow, and all three of these came back. That is so awesome. Now we really need to decide. Between Mana Leak and Essence Scatter, I like Mana Leak a lot more. It basically acts as a hard counter. Creeping Tar Pit, though, really is one of the better lands that we could possibly hope for in the deck. We've got a Counterspell and a Dissipate. Unfortunately, I think Mana Leak's probably better than either of those. Ugh, that's a tough choice. I'm going to go with the Tar Pit here. It is just so useful for killing opposing Planeswalkers when you really can't. And for even, I mean, you can even use it to block. Like, the card is so versatile. And by the way, it fixes our mana, like, in a pretty big way. I really wanted that Mana Leak, but I just think that the 1-2 punch of being a completely reliable and awesome, basically, creature in our deck, and then on top of it being mana fixing means that we need to take the Tar Pit. Interesting here between Thieving Magpie and Teferi. I like Teferi. Teferi's hard to cast, but we should be able to with the amount of blue that we have. Magpie's fine. I'm going to take Teferi here, just go on power level. All right, Old Man came back. Yeah, I'll take Old Man. Probably not going to start him. Might not start Teferi either, but we'll see. Our top end is sweet. I mean, we have Maloku, Consecrated Sphinx, Frost Titan, Nicol Bolas. Like, that's pretty insane. And Tidings as well, just in case. I'll take Spell Pierce over Temple of Mystery. I mean, I would probably just play that Temple as a enters the battlefield tapped island that has Scry 1, but Spell Pierce is actually a card that we might want, so I'm going to take it. Don't think we care about any of these too much. I'll just kill Lake of the Dead, I guess. I don't like Attrition much. All right, well, we ended up with too many playables anyway, so we're going to be cutting some of these. Probably like this. I need to cut one more card from here. Augur of Bolas probably is the one that goes. I think we can actually play a Night Veil Spectre in this deck. I don't think we want any of these, though we will keep this Chaos Warp in mind. It's a permanent, so if there's a troublesome permanent, we can try to get rid of it. Disfigure's much better against the aggressive decks, and we don't really know what we're facing, of course, so We'll probably keep it in the board to start with. Delver I don't think is going to happen here. Not without forcing it. Augur's a question. Kira is in question. Old Man as well. Control Magic. I think we just want Dungeon Geist. Probably want that, but I don't know yet. Don't know yet. Yes, yes. And then don't know yet. What am I missing? Am I missing anything? All right. So that's 20. And the question is, what out of these do we want? I think we want to Condescend in the deck. I think that we just want it for the early game and then, Scry 2 later to help get us to our land drops and that kind of thing. I don't think we want Kega. I think that that's too many 6 drops, and that one's a little bit conditional. Teferi is sweet, but not amazing and pretty tough to cast. Old Man is sort of specific. I like Kira. I think I'm going to play Kira here. It's very annoying for our opponent. And I probably just want to run 18 lands with this deck. We have some card draw, but we don't have a ton of it, and I think I want to just make sure that we hit our land drop. So I'm going to run 18 lands, and let's see what we come up with here. This is probably close, actually. All right, so this gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 blue sources, which is actually kind of relieving because we have so many. But let's see how many red. 1, 2, 3. So we need more than that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's not going to cut it. We need more black and we need more red than that. So I'm going to cut. Let's see, that's 12. I'm going to cut 3 of these actually. Let's see how this looks. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 3 cards that are kind of spread out, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like that. So this is much better. I could even swap out. I could go to 7 black mana sources. Our black is actually quite thin as well, because remember these are essentially blue, and put it in extra mountain. And this probably works out pretty well too. And this gives us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives us 11 blue, which is fine. All right, let's submit this deck, and let's see what this Grixis control deck can do.